Hey guys, NoViceCS here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Left 4 Dead 2, in particular how the game has remained to stay relevant 10 years on from its initial release. A crazy task for any video game, especially those made in the modern age. Left 4 Dead 2 hasn't been able to achieve that for no reason though. There are many reasons why this game is so special and remembered by a lot of fans worldwide as a masterpiece, and I think it does deserve that title. Today, we are going to cover what makes this game so great, and why it has been able to keep a player base this long into its game's lifespan. I hope you enjoy. Left 4 Dead 2 is a game I'm sure many gamers will remember and have multiple fond memories of playing. At the time of this game's release, all the way back in 2009, it was a breath of fresh air. Zombie games had not been overdone to death at this time, and so the zombie genre was still one that very much piqued everyone's interest and got a lot of attention. Add into this the fact that Left 4 Dead 2 was such a polished game for when released in 2009, and it's easy to see why this game was such a masterpiece and a huge hit among fans. The game was so good in fact, that even today in 2019, a decade after release, people are still playing it, and the online community on both Xbox and PC is very much alive, albeit only on certain game modes, mainly Versus and Scavenge. However, this alone is still an amazing accomplishment. I can't recall many games that still retain an online community 10 years into their lifespan, and even less any games that still remain as one of the most played games on Steam 10 years after release. At the time of recording this video, Left 4 Dead 2 is currently the 41st most played game on Steam, with just under 13,000 current players. It sits just below Sekiro and Mortal Kombat 11, both of which came out only a few months earlier than this video, both in 2019. That just shows how crazy it is that Left 4 Dead still pulls in this insane amount of players. It's insanely rare a game would have people playing it even 5 or 6 years after release in the modern age, so the fact that Left 4 Dead is still able to do this 10 years on just goes to show how great a game it really was. So what makes this game so special and allows it to keep such a loyal fanbase? Other popular zombie games before the release of Left 4 Dead 2 included such titles as Dead Rising, Resident Evil 4, Call of Duty World at War Zombies, and Killing Floor. And while each of them received a great receival from fans and great praise from reviews and players, Left 4 Dead 2 provided something that these games did not. Something that a player could not receive anywhere else in zombie games before this time. And that was the ability to actually play as the zombies themselves. This is where Left 4 Dead 2 multiplayer excelled. While Killing Floor and Call of Duty World at War offered an amazing multiplayer zombie experience, fans had never before been able to play on the other side of the story in such a polished and modern game. Left 4 Dead 2 allowed users to play as the infected, drooling, zombified creatures themselves, with the aim of trying to kill the opposing humans before they reached the end of a level or completed their objective. And while Left 4 Dead 1 had this feature, Left 4 Dead 2 built on it and improved it, allowing you to play as 7 special types of mega zombies, each with their own unique special abilities that hurt, hindered or slowed down survivors on their path to victory. These include the Boomer, a zombie that can puke on humans and attract a horde of zombies to them. The Spitter shoots acid puke in a pool on the floor, dealing AoE damage to survivors. The Charger, a large zombie that will grab a human and pummel them to death, dealing big damage. The Jockey, who can attach to the head of humans and control their movement while dealing damage. The Smoker, who grabs a human with their tongue and pulls them into him. And the Hunter, an infected who can cover large areas of the map with insane speed and will pounce on you and claw you to death, dealing once again large amounts of damage. As well as finally a mega infected called the Tank. This aspect of being able to play as the zombies was really cool in itself, but Left 4 Dead 2 and Valve went even further than that by allowing you to play from the 7 prototypes. It was very fun kind of mastering each and every zombie's ability and trying to get good with them. Some you prefer more than others, and certain players will be better with certain types of zombies that fit their playstyles better. For instance, people who love to run in and deal massive amounts of damage would prefer the Hunter or the Charger, as that would fit their playstyle. whereas certain players prefer the spitter, who can cut off doorways or certain areas of the map, and the jockey, who can, if he grabs a survivor while the others don't see him, lead him into a small corner and maul him to death, while the other survivors walk around the map trying to find out where you are. I really loved that there was a zombie for every playstyle, and it made the game very fun and very fresh. But when you got bored of playing the survivors, you could flip over to the zombies and have great fun with them as well. And both sides were enjoyable, survivors and zombies. But it was lovely that Left 4 Dead 2 came along and allowed you to play from both sides, something that other zombie games very rarely do. It was lovely to have this option, and I think this is a good reason why the game remains played.
Another aspect of the multiplayer that has managed to keep people hooked to this very day is the fact that the core mechanics of the game are very simplistic and easy to get the hang of, while still being very fun for the players. For instance, the shooting in the game is all done via hip firing, with no aim down sights function inside of the game at all. This makes aiming and shooting very simple, and there is little more to the shooting than basic spray and pray. Even though this is the case, it still feels like fun, and it allows anyone to hop on the game and be able to play straight away. Even playing as the infected zombies only requires one simple mouse click to perform your unique special ability. And even though these core mechanical gameplays for both the survivors and the zombies feel very basic, they still feel really fun. Whether you're mowing down hordes and hordes of zombies while spraying and parrying as a survivor, hoping you won't die, or you just hit a really nice boomer bile and attracted all the horde to all 4 members of the survivors, or you got a nicely aimed spit that's racking you up tons of points. It feels really fun and rewarding. The easy nature on the game's mechanics drew in a large number of players, as players of all skill could join in. You could pick up this game as a very basic player and still have great fun and not get shut down by the pros every match. There is very little skill gap. However, the game is still fun for even the hardcore gamers, as wins still feel fun and fresh to obtain, and a certain mastery of the game still did exist for those players who wanted to learn the ins and outs and get every little possible advantage they could to get on top of other players. The fact that the game is so simple is definitely a key factor to what makes it so special. Some days you don't feel like playing CSGO competitive or League of Legends ranked matches, and you want to kick back and chill out with your friends. This is the perfect game for that. One that all your friends, even the casual gamers, can hop on with you and enjoy at any time without stressing about appearing like a noob or losing rank. Players aren't overflooded with overbearing game mechanics, tons of weapons and tons of items to learn and master. In fact, I would actually compare Left 4 Dead 2 with other popular games such as Minecraft, Hearthstone, or even Dead by Daylight. Games that show you don't need the most complex and overbearing game mechanics to retain players and have a popular game. Left 4 Dead is a game that provides you fun. Put it simply, it is a hell of a lot of fun hopping on here with your friends, and sometimes gamers just want that. We don't always want the craziest mechanics or the hardest ranked matches. Sometimes we want to kick back and enjoy. Another reason this game is as big as it is because of the variety of game modes this game possessed. It was absolutely astonishing, especially for its time. You had the choice of playing single player or even co-op with some friends. And then you had the multiplayer option modes, such as Classic Versus, 4 survivors trying to race to the end of a map against 4 player-controlled zombies trying to stop them. Scavenge, whereby survivors had an objective to grab as many gas cans as possible in a time limit, while again, 4 player-controlled zombies tried to stop you before you both swapped and saw who could gain more gas cans in a round. Your standard zombie game wave survival, where you and 3 teammates tried to last as long as possible, and even for the more hardcore type of players, 2 modes called Versus Realism and Realism existed, whereby players could play with extra hard settings such as playing against extra damaged zombies, not being able to see other players or items' silhouettes on the screen, and whereby body shots on zombies did significantly less damage, encouraging the player to aim for headshots. There was even a mode called Mutation which was changed up very frequently and gave fresh and new game modes with little tweaks and variations here and there. As you could see, players were spoiled for choice. I'd argue there was game mode for everybody, and even if you got bored of all the game modes, which would be very hard to do, you could always wait for the new mutation to come in, and something fresh and new would be available, once again, to pique your interest. The final thing that really strikes me as an important factor in this game's success was how polished this game was. Quite literally, massive hordes of zombies would appear on a player's screen at one time, and they would climb up, around and through many different obstacles or objects just to reach you. Nothing on this scale in a zombie game had really been seen before, and especially not as smoothly as it was done in Left 4 Dead 2. The closest thing to such a scale of zombies on screen at once at one time would have been Dead Rising, and even in this game, the zombie AI was nowhere near as smart or intelligent as the zombie AI in Left 4 Dead 2. Dead Rising zombies spent most of the time walking at a slow pace and very rarely climbed or maneuvered their way through any obstacles to get to you. Compare this to the big waves of speeding, clambering zombies Left 4 Dead throws at you, who will get at you from any angle and climb any object just to try and kill you. It was really breathtaking. The zombies in Dead Rising as well were very prone to glitch out a lot more than the zombies in Left 4 Dead 2 as well. And to be fair, Dead Rising was released 3 years earlier, but the point still stands that AI in this game was incredible and really polished. It really felt like you were in a zombie invasion, and it was really cool to see on your screen and flowed really well. Again, no glitches were apparent even though tons and tons of zombies were on the screen, so it was really well done. As stated, Left 4 Dead 2 also had very few glitches and bugs for a game of its size. It ran extremely smoothly on console and PC alike, and it was incredible how balanced the game is and was to this day. There are no real overpowered zombies or methods or cheap tactics to stomp your opponent and win every game. Games are very evenly matched, and there are no cheesy or cheeky ways to secure a win with ease. So that's about it, guys. I hope I've given some insight on why Left 4 Dead 2 is really such an impactful game, and why people still play it even to this day. It really was a masterpiece, and I think it's a game that will be remembered long after even today. Will people still play it in another decade? Probably not, but it will slowly dwindle out, and it's already lasted a lot longer than people would have ever expected. Hopefully Valve will get around to releasing Left 4 Dead 3, but who knows, it is Valve after all. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Maybe it's a little nostalgia trip that's taken you down memory lane, but regardless, I hope you've had fun and maybe you've learned something here. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and leave a comment down below if you want to discuss anything that happened in this video. Hopefully you'll subscribe if you want to see more similar content. But thank you very much, guys. This has been Novice CS.